Class 10 student, this is rapid revision for your chapter Nationalism in India, as you can see in the poster too. So 10 minutes rapid revision before your exam, which is going to help you solve the most high weighted chapter of our SST. My dear student, as you guys already know that 2-marker MCQ is going to come from this topic, but along with that there are certain questions that frequently are asked from this topic, particularly this chapter particularly. What we need to study in this chapter is First World War. Now pay attention that India's freedom struggle till class 8 you were studying that, but it was up till 1857 and the formation of Indian National Congress. Here in this chapter of class 10th we will study from the First World War started in 1914. After that we will focus on all the Satyagraha and the movement launched by Gandhiji. That includes non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, and at last we will study a topic that is sense of collective belonging among Indians. Whenever we will study a Satyagraha, a movement, what you need to focus is first point, causes of that movement. Okay, the events between that movement, participants of that movement, result of that movement, and withdrawal of that movement. Why was it withdrawn? This is the thing, this complete thing what you need to study in this chapter. So let's begin. Students, what happened na? Like what we know. चलो शुरू करते हैं. First World War. Now 1914 First World War started between two groups, Central Powers, Allied Powers. The Allied Powers which included Britain, Russia, France. The Central Power which included Turkey, the Ottoman region, particularly Germany, etc. Now there is a clash between two powers in which one of the power is ruling India too. So will it affect India? Yes, it affected India. What is the effect of impact of First World War in national freedom struggle? Bhai, expenses are increasing. From where they will get? From the pockets of Indians. So defense expenditure was increased, right? Because of which they increased the taxes, introduced income tax, custom duties were increased, price were increased, forced recruitment was done, picking the people from the villages and sending them in the army where we don't have any relation but we have to go. Okay, crop was failed like Sone Pe Suhaga, influenza epidemic was there and the people were facing famine. Everywhere there was like lack of food, and the people were affected badly. Now, directly after this topic, not stretching it, I'll move to Gandhiji, because now the main focus of India's freedom struggle in this book is about Gandhi and Satyagraha, right? Gandhiji went to South Africa after his studies and came back to India in the month of January 1915. After then, he was like suggested by his political leader not to interfere in the Indian politics for 1 year, just to watch what is going on. After that, he introduced his concept of Satyagraha. What is Satyagraha? Satya par agrah, yani ki based on truth and non-violence. What he even practiced in South Africa too. So here, the initial, or what we can say, the early Satyagraha of Gandhiji was Champaran Satyagraha. Bihar issue was indigo planters. Year was 1917. Kheda Satyagraha in Gujarat issue was revenue issue by peasants, and then it was year 1917. We have Ahmedabad Satyagraha performed by mill workers 1918 again in Gujarat. And here he was successful enough, popularized within the Indians, which however he already was. Now comes the Black Act of the Indian history, Rowlatt Act, right? Government hurriedly by the Imperial Legislative Assembly in 1919 passed this act, said that now the government has the right to detain the political prisoners for how many years? 2 years without any procedure, without any trial, because procedure do not limit them. Now what happened? Against that, Gandhiji decided, okay, this is a good issue. Let's start all India movement against Rowlatt Satyagraha. So Rowlatt Satyagraha was launched on 6th of April, okay, 6th of April. But what happened? In Punjab, certain leaders were arrested by Britishers, firing was there, violence was increasing, due to which what Britishers decided that martial law will be imposed in Punjab. Okay, understood the story? Now what happened? On the day 13th of April, there is a celebration in Punjab, that's Baisakhi festival celebrated every year. So people thought that let's gather in Jallianwala Bagh massacre like we used to do, right? And celebrate Baisakhi. Now the news went into the ears of General Dyer. He came, closed that only exit, open fired and killed many people out there, right? Some people jumped into the well to escape from the firing of General Dyer, and this was the black event of Indian history. Right? Everyone was stunned. Every Indian was stunned out of that. Jallianwala Bagh massacre is something what happened here. Now, instead of feeling guilty, what Britishers did, they have suppressed or repressed Indians very badly. They asked them to crawl on the streets. They asked them to rub their noses and were arresting everyone out there. Violence was increasing in the country, and this is how Rowlatt Satyagraha, the movement started by Gandhiji, vanished or withdrawal, or what we can say that सब बर्बाद कर दिया. Okay, Britishers ने. Now we will move to the next event, but now one more thing happened in the world affairs, that's Khilafat issue. By two groups were there in First World War. Central powers, Allied powers. Allied powers won the war, applied certain treaty on the Central powers, taking the power of Khalifa, who was religious head of Ottoman Empire. Now, Khalifa, religious head of Islamic world, people were so angry, the Muslim people were so angry, and in response to that, Khilafat committee was made in India by two brothers, Shaukat Ali and Muhammad Ali in Bombay. Okay, so here starts another movement. We know that we have to challenge Britishers back for the Rowlatt Act and the act they have done, that's Jallianwala Bagh massacre. In response to that, a new movement was started, that is non-cooperation movement. In this non-cooperation movement, they have to undo all these mistakes, and there was a demand present, that was demand of Swaraj. But when it was presented at Calcutta session of Indian National Congress organized in September 1920, what happened? Gandhiji came there. He brought a proposal by we are going to boycott all the British institutions. Are you guys agree? So basically the proposal what put forward to the members of Indian National Congress by Gandhiji at the session, Calcutta session, September 1920, accepted at the session, Nagpur session, December 1920. This is also a map work if you remember. Okay, so Calcutta session, Nagpur session, then we know that Gandhiji explained that in his book Hind Swaraj, that why are we facing this problem? Because what? We are accepting everything what Britishers are doing. Let us non-cooperate. If they are opening government schools, let's not go there. If teachers, they want teachers in government school, let's not teach. They want lawyers in law courts, let us boycott that. So boycott was made basically the ideology of non-cooperation movement, in which foreign goods, liquor and all such things were also boycotted. Did you get that? Movement, however, spread it in the towns where people participated and affected the economy of Britishers too. Read that in detail, very important topic. Then we have seen the rebellion in the countryside, where we will talk about Awadh Kisan Sabha. Okay, talk about Awadh Kisan Sabha. Swaraj in the plantation, where Inland Immigration Act was passed by Britishers in 1859. People were asked not to move their gardens like tea gardens, etc., plantation gardens, and the people here interpreted that we want Gandhian rule, we want Swaraj. So everyone has different interpretation of their word Swaraj. A question that is frequently asked, but what happened in 1922? An event where people were peacefully protesting, like we used to do always. Britishers came, the policemen came and started hitting that people. People this time get agitated, hum to badla lenge. Right? They put a fire on a police station where 22 policemen of Britishers were killed. Right? Because of this event, Gandhiji thought that we are still not, what we can say, still not active and ready to do the movement, and hence non-cooperation movement was also withdrawn. So here non-cooperation movement withdrawn due to this act, that is Chauri Chaura incident. Do you think that we will stop here? No. Another movement is going to start, that is civil disobedience movement. But when NCM, that's non-cooperation movement, withdrawn, certain leaders were angry by Gandhiji and formed Swaraj Party in 1924. C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru. Note this point right here. Okay, now there are certain things that is going in the 1920s basically in the Indian society, Indian politics. One is economic depression. By you know that 1929, the Great Depression to the world, Indian economy was also affected. And the second most important thing, by Simon Commission. 1928, Simon Commission came to India with the objective of making constitutional development in India. But it was boycotted throughout the India. Why? Question is why? Because here the Simon Commission, all the members were Britishers and they are going to make constitution for India. What a logic, man. So here Indians boycotted it with the slogans Simon go back, that we even speak today if we want to boycott someone. So Simon go back was done 1928. You can see these slogans over here. Now comes into picture vague offer by Irwin. As we were boycotting Simon, like Irwin was scared. Again, they are going to start a movement in my tenure. No, I'm not going to do that. So Irwin came with an offer. Okay, you people stop doing the movement. What I can give you is dominion status. Do you know what dominion status means? That you people will rule. That means your people will be in the government, but we will be its head. Then everyone in the Indian National Congress said that, are we fool? This was our demand in 1905, 1910. Now we are not going to accept this demand. Okay, Irwin, go back. Then here comes in the picture Jawaharlal Nehru at the Lahore session of Indian National Congress in 1929, when he said that we want Purna Swaraj. What do we want, bacha? We want Purna Swaraj. That means complete independence. Okay, Lahore session, he also unflagged the unflagged the national flag of India. Along with that, Gandhiji presented his 11 demands to Irwin, that bhai, this is my 11 demands. If you are going to accept it, I'll not start the movement. But if you are not going to accept it, then I am going to start the movement. An ultimatum of 11th March was given to Irwin. Irwin didn't accept it, and hence we started Salt March, 12th March to 6th April, 24 days, 240 miles. Get it? 24 days, 240 miles from the ashram of Gandhiji to Dandi. So 78 people along with Gandhiji marched towards Dandi, a portal town where they boiled the water, make the salt and broke the salt law. Now what is this salt law? So basically Gandhiji has a very good thing. He made local issue turns to the national issue. What he did? Salt was item of basic consumption by everywhere in India. Right? So he took that local issue, turned it into national issue in civil disobedience movement, because an inhuman tax was applied on them. Right? So now Salt March continued. There was violent clashes. All the leaders were arrested. The movement without the leaders was going on. Violence was increasing, and this is how Irwin came to Gandhiji. Gandhiji was also in jail at that time. Irwin came to Gandhiji. अच्छा listen. तुम हमारी कुछ बातें मान लो, कुछ हम मान लेंगे. Accept some of my points, I'll accept yours. Okay. Now Irwin said that first of all, stop this civil disobedience movement. Okay, stop this civil disobedience movement and attend our round table conference. This we are doing for your favor. We will make your constitution. You guys come together and let's talk about it. Gandhiji said, okay, but in respect what you will do for me. Irwin said, I'll accept some of your demands and leave your political prisoners as well. But as fake as always, the Britishers were. So Gandhi-Irwin Pact was signed on 5th March 1931. Accepting this, civil disobedience movement was withdrawn, and this is how we failed once again. right? So civil disobedience movement was withdrawn. We accepted to attend the round table conference. We did it in 1932. However, no positive response came out of that. Gandhiji came back to India, started CDM 2.0, but it did not succeed. It faded away with the passing time. Get it? Now the thing that you need to focus here is the participants and the limitations of CDMs were very, very important. Okay, who participated? Rich peasants, poor peasants, business class, industrial working class and women's. Particularly stay focused on women's participation. Okay, study it nicely in detail. However, we have limitations of untouchables as well as Muslims. Both these communities did not participate. If we talk about untouchables, they thought that Indian National Congress is full-fledged by the Brahmins and the upper class people will never provide equality to them. And if we talk about Muslims, they started demanding a separate state which resulted into Pakistan. We guys know that. Now let us talk about the last topic of this chapter. My dear students, we are up to the last topic. Hope this 10-minute rapid revision helps you out before your exam. Sense of collective belonging. What led to the sense of collective belonging within the Indians who were divided by different communities, culture, language, traditions, etc. So the first is figures and images. Like we have seen the photo of Bharat Mata, right? We have seen that Jawaharlal Nehru in his hand is a book painted with photo of Bharat Mata. This is Bharat Mata. This is Bharat Mata painted by Abanindranath Tagore. Okay, so yes, images and figures have an important role. Then folklores and folk stories. Then we have another point that's like you can see these pictures, images, okay. Then icons and symbols, reinterpretation of history. So there is a long story of how the map of India evolved. It was first Vande Mataram written with a moon and a sun with 8 lotus representing the 8 princely states of India. Sun representing Hindus and sun and moon basically representing unity of Hindus and Muslim. It was then replaced by Charkha when Gandhiji came, and then by Ashok Chakra. Okay, so whenever we see this, whenever we listen the stories, folklores, when we listen our national anthem, national song, we definitely get a feeling of collective belonging, unity among the people of India. Okay, so are you guys happy with what we studied right now? Was 10-minute summary to the chapter. What was it? Nationalism in India. Khatam, tata, bye-bye. Meet you soon with the very next chapter in the same pattern, that is 10-minute rapid revision. Up till then, do subscribe the channel right now. That is Deeksha Vedantu for you.